I'm George Kailas, CEO of Prospero.ai. I've been in finance since I was 17. I actually taught myself accounting to work at my first hedge fund. I saw finance as a vehicle for being able to create more fairness in the world. I really started early in investing to change what I thought was a very unfair system. With Prospero.ai, we have a lot of really inventive signals so we can help retail investors find new investments easier, learn easier, and most of all, eliminate sort of obvious errors that institutions traditionally take advantage of. I've learned a lot of hard lessons along the way. I can give you 9 of the most important ones right now. The first and maybe most important lesson is you gotta roll up your sleeves or just be a passive investor. And what a lot of people don't know is 70% of even hedge funds don't beat the S&P 500. So if you're not prepared to put in work as much as those people put in work, you should really just invest in a passive investment vehicle. Another important lesson is to really be honest with yourself and what your edge could be and how to build it. Like if you're a doctor, you might want to invest in biotech companies because you have a unique perspective on what companies might be good. Or if you work in auto sales, you might want to look at certain car companies or certain car dealerships. The third lesson is, are you lucky or good? And test for it. When you invest, some percentage of investors are going to be successful regardless. So you could just be one of those lucky people. What you need to figure out is if you have a process that's repeatable. Respecting your opponents looks like making sure you do a lot of research to start, you follow up, you ask yourself what might be missing. You are up against people that just have access to different information. There's people that go and play golf with executives and ask, are they going to beat earnings next quarter? That's a perfect example of access to certain kind of information that some people have and others don't. And, primary sources can be intimidating, but being able to retrieve the information that you really need and a comfortability with that is going to make you a much better investor and get the right, accurate information more often than pretty much anyone else on the internet. Another important lesson is to have a toolbox. What I think makes the Prospero signals good is I'm actually bringing a lot of qualitative information into the quantitative information. There's even people who love Prospero so much that they say it's all they use. As much as I like the Prospero signals, that you should really learn as many things as possible because the diversification from information sources and making sure those sources agree are the best ways to become a better investor. Lesson 7 is monitor your investments. Figure out a good system that says, maybe I can only look twice a day and I'm gonna just look at these things. Having a process is going to improve your win rates. Another lesson is to educate yourself. People need to be able to say, not only I've learned things, but I'm continuing to learn things because the market changes all the time. Lesson 9 is you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't understand opposing viewpoints. If you can't look at things that might scare you, opposing views on investment, you don't have enough conviction in your investment in the first place. It's taken me over 20 years to learn these lessons, and shortening the learning curve to learn those lessons is a very important thing to me. And that is why we created the Prospero app. It's free. It's in both iPhone and Android app stores. I've seen hedge funds win and win against retail time and time again. We created these signals and the process alongside it to help you shorten the learning curve on learning these lessons and being able to compete better, which has pretty much been my dream for as long as I can remember.